Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I know I talked about it, in the last Lonely Talking episodes. I thought I'd tackle it again because I think last time I didn't really go in depth. I do need to speak a bit more slowly. I think that's still an issue I have. So I hope if I start speedrunning through sentences, you won't mind it super much. Hopefully in the future it's gonna be different, but who knows? Maybe I'll be speedrunning to my entire books in my mind for like the next century. But anyway, century? I won't be alive in the next century. I don't think that's really applicable. But anyway, so I thought I'd go a bit more in depth on the topics, the symptoms, the type of stuff, and how they actually affect my life usually. Because last time I just essentially went, oh yeah, that's a thing that happens. Oh yeah, this is also a thing that happened. But I didn't really give any examples, I think, if I remember correctly at least. So let's head on. So I have found this site on, it's called medicine.net, if usually shows it, you see, about the symptoms. So let's just tackle it first. Okay, abnormal body posturing or facial expressions. What they mean by, I don't know the body posturing, I don't really do that myself at least. But facial expressions, I don't know how to display those. To most people I just look bored, stoic, depressed almost every day of my life, because I just don't know how to look excited, happy, or anything like that. Like one time I got a PS4, I think it was. Was it PS4? Yes, it was PS4. And I think I essentially just went, oh wow, this is great. Because I just don't know how to express the joy, if you understand what I mean. Expressing joy, happiness, and whatever is a difficult topic to approach for most people with autism, So that's one of the many issues. Abnormal tone of voice. I have had issues for most of my life with actually putting in a tone. So I will usually, as you can see now, sometimes I speak louder, sometimes I speak a bit softer. Sometimes I put intonation on one letter instead of the one part of the word instead of the other part of the word. I never, for most of my life, I haven't known that. Like legit. I would just speak in one tone and that's it. Yeah, that's all you would get from me. One tone. Be happy with it or piss off, essentially, Then we have the next one, avoidance of eye contact or poor eye contact. I have never been able to look into people's eyes for more than 5 seconds. I think I mentioned it last time as well. But I even realized last year, I always look down when I stare into people's eyes. When I have to stare in people's eyes. I mean, instead of staring people's eyes, I look down. And I mean, usually women are smaller than me. I'm 180 centimeters, so a lot of times they are a bit smaller. And you wanna know if you stare down at a woman if you're at the same level as a woman, the same height, and just stare down, what are you looking at then? Well, I realized after like years of doing this that I always looked at people's boobs by accident. So I think that's why women usually didn't like me, because I just stare at the boobs by accident. I didn't realize it. I was thinking about what to say, but to them it probably looked very creepy. Behavioral disturbances. So I think this is more related. On the way I do have this. I just don't understand how to behave in most situations. At least I think that's what they mean. If I'm supposed to act one way, then how am I supposed to know that unless you tell me? Like, job interviews I will never understand, because you're supposed to get in a suit apparently for some reason, and you have to lie, I've heard, but you can't lie at like 100%. You have to sort of switch in between lying and telling the truth at times, which, I mean, why make it so complicated? Just hire me if you like me, the person, Instead of me having to bullshit my way through life and you not enjoying anything I'm doing. Then next up we have Deficits in language comprehension. Well, I don't. Maybe it's what I said last time. I don't understand commands really, or whatever they say. So if you tell me to do a certain thing, then there's a chance that I will do something else because it sounds to me like you said the other thing. If you know what I mean. Like if you tell me to put a box over there, then maybe I'll grab a different box because you just said a box. And maybe I'll put it on a different place because you didn't specify what there is. See, that's like one of the major issues at least I have, which is just understanding what people actually mean. Then we have delay in learning to speak. Now I do have a decent story about this, because when I was younger, I was actually born deaf. So what happened was, from what I heard, my ear canals, whatever you want to call it, you know, the bit behind the, what's it called in English? Like the vibration thing in your ear. Oh wait, of course I'm using the browser. Hold on. Ignore the background over there. There's nothing suspicious. But anyway, let me just see. Hold on, if I can type. Translation. The eardrum. I think the area behind the eardrum for me was filled with water or whatever. I hope it was water. I don't hope it was anything else. So for the biggest majority of my life, not my life, for like the first few months of my life, I just didn't react to anything. You know, normally you would have the lawnmower going and the kid would be like wham wham because it's too loud, or people would be like gathering out going like goo goo goo, and the kids would be acting like all cute and stuff. I just didn't, because nobody knew why, and that's so I had to like get my eardrums pierced at a certain point, I think. And then they had to get all the water out. So I think it's still lucky that you can even hear. Anyway, I assume my speech was at least delayed by that, but I think that was unrelated to autism for me. But you do have those cases of people who, at like 20 years old, still can't talk. Oh Jesus Christ, I did something. Who still can't talk, and who still struggle with like basic conversational stuff because they just can't learn it for some reason. Their brains just can't comprehend actually speaking to one another. At least that's how I see it. I don't know if it's either like actual factual information or not. But anyway, flat or monotonous speech. Now, like I said, in normal tone of voice. I don't know why it's in here twice. But oh, that's the wrong one. I was in it twice. But yes, I just spoke flat all the time. One tone alone, nothing else, nothing more. Be happy with it. Inappropriate social interaction. I don't understand what inappropriate actually is, you know? Like, sometimes you call someone pretty and they like it, sometimes you call someone pretty and it's rude. Sometimes you tell the truth to someone, and sometimes you tell the truth to someone and they don't like it. Sometimes they do like it. Like, understanding what is inappropriate to a lot of people with autism, I think, is a chore in itself. Because there isn't a specific rulebook on what is and what isn't normal to say to someone, you know? Like, it's supposed to be sort of mentally sort of, no, that's not the word I'm looking for. Intrinsic, no, maybe. It's supposed to be sort of a natural thing, you know, to say that's inappropriate, that isn't inappropriate. But to me, that just isn't. So it gets confusing. Like, sometimes you call someone a bad word and they don't like it, but then you have friends, you call them bad word and they do like it. But you see, and it gets very confusing the more and more you think about it for people with autism. Okay, so intense focus on one topic. I talked about it last time also, but for like weeks at a time, I can essentially get focused on one specific thing, and I don't like anything else. I just want to do that one thing. Currently, it's more chess, but last time before this one, I suddenly was extremely interested in North Korea. I don't know why, with all countries, but something about North Korea just hit me. I just need to know more and more about it. I need to see how many people escape from it. I want to see the living conditions of it. I checked out one video of the guy who traveled there like multiple times. Like, yeah, getting hyperfixated is something that happens to me regularly. But for a lot of people it's also just a permanent thing at a certain point. I assume most people with autism who go into like archaeology or something get interested by dinosaurs, and they get interested about researching dinosaurs. Then they find this profession that's like, hey, we study dinosaurs. And they think, oh Jesus, I'm going to study dinosaurs. You see, that's essentially how it usually will work. Okay, then the next one. Lack of understanding social cues. Or wait. Lack of empathy. I don't know really how to empathize with people. Like, my mindset is more, hey, this is a problem now, I'll just deal with it and see it next time, and see how it will turn out. You know, like depression, you know, I've had it for a while. I just let it go its way at this point. I don't really care anymore. At one point in life, it will fix itself, with or without my intervention. You know, so I just let it go its way. Sadness and stuff. That's the same thing. So whenever someone online is like, oh wow, someone recently passed away or something, I just go, okay. And why do I need to know about it? What's important now? They're gone, move on, and that's it. That's essentially how my view has been for like most of my life. And whether that is psychopathy or just my autism, that's up for debate, you know. But I assume it's just I'm not a psychopath yet, at least. Well, if I would be a psychopath, then I would be a sociopath, because sociopathy is later in life and psychopathy is early in life. I also had an obsession with serial killers once, but that's a different story. Okay, but anyway. Lack of understanding social cues. Now, like I said with the whole inappropriate stuff, so understanding what people want socially is hard for me to say unless you specify it. So if I'm getting too close to you, like physically, if I'm saying stuff that hurts you, please just tell me. Like, I don't understand what you want otherwise. I understand why you're being so weird at that point, you know? If you just tell me what's wrong, then I can actually try and fix that about myself, you see? Okay, then we have the next one. Learning disability or difficulty. Now, I am pretty good at learning, I would say. But it's more, I need a specific way of understanding it. So, like when I was in middle school, we had to do this thing called, let's see if I can find it. A box plot was called. Yes. It's this thing. Hold on, let me just. That's a way difficult way of writing it down. Hold on, let me just try and find an easy way. Hello, can it be an easy manner maybe to. Okay, never mind. Okay, so essentially it's. You have the lowest number, you have the highest number, I think. First quarter. And then you have to do something in the middle with it. I believe. I don't remember it exactly, it's been years at this point. But it took me, that's like the easiest thing we had to understand. But it took me 2 weeks for it to finally kick in. Because I need a specific way to explain it to my brain. Otherwise it just would never be understandable. So I assume that's how it is for most people with the same condition. I notice that a lot of people have it way worse. At least this is how it is for me. Then we have not engaging in playing with peers. I never really saw the use of playing with other people, you know. Like I said, my mind is more a efficiency over fun sort of brain. If my mind finds something not efficient, then I don't consider it to be fun. Why would I be playing with peers if I could be doing something fun for myself, you know? Like studying something I like, or playing a video game. What's the point of me going out with people having to, you know, coordinate what I want, what they want, what we can collectively do, what games we collectively like, this and that. There just isn't a use for my brain. I know that's a bad thing, but there just isn't. Then we have preoccupation with specific topics. That's the same thing as hyperfixating. Hello? Why is it saying it twice? Problem with two-way conversation. I assume that's related to, you know, small talk. Wait, I am horrendous at. If I need to do a small talk with someone, you might as well shoot me already, because it's gonna be like 5 seconds. You know, you ask me how my day was, I say good. You ask me why was it good, I give you 1 sentence. And then I just want the conversation to be over. Please, move on. You know? Like, there isn't a use for long-term conversation. Back to the efficiency thing again. A long-term conversation isn't useful to me. Why would I need to know about your day and life? Why would you need to know about my day and life? Let's just skip that part and tell me what you want. Then we have repeating words or phrases. Now, as you can tell, if you watch my videos at least, I usually just use the phrase bada bing bada boom, because I like that phrase. Easy, that's essentially it. I assume most people have their own sort of catchphrase, I would say. And I say it a lot as well. Like, I assume I have more sentences I use repeatedly, but for now, all I can actually voluntarily remember is bada bing bada boom, you know? Because I say that a lot in my life, to be honest. It's got to become my thing to say. Then we have repetitive movements. Now, for instance, if I like something, I just like wave my arms around. Maybe I can find a video of that at one point and show it, but I usually just do that. I don't know if anybody else does that. But if I can do a movement in repetition, it's essentially like calming, you know? Doing something repeatedly is more of a calming activity. Because I know what's going to happen. I know what I need to do. Like, it's, instead of having to figure out something, it's essentially all explained, you know? I don't need to do something else, something subtly different, like a jump scare in movement, you know? Also, you know, I repeat that a lot. I realize it now. I say you know a very big amount of time. Large amount of time. Okay, but anyway, self-abusive behaviors. Well, like with school, for instance, I keep not doing school. Like right now, I have 2 weeks left on like assignments that usually you get 20 weeks for. So, but that's like, I don't think that's considered self-abusive, but I also have an addiction that I'm trying to stop, which gets very, 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 very difficult, you know. It's been so long with that addiction now, but I just can't stop it. I don't know why, but I can't. Or maybe in the future I'll go in depth on that, but for now I'll just skip over it. Sleep disturbances. Well, I just don't sleep usually. I think I have insomnia, to be honest, because I can usually only fall asleep at like 2 or 4 a.m. and I need to wake up at 6, so I think you can see how difficult that is. Now, I don't know what more to say about it, to be honest. I haven't had sleep paralysis yet, which I'm very happy about, because I don't want to see the head man. And anyway, social withdrawal. I just don't like social interaction. I sit in my room 99% of the time. If I have to leave, if you give me a reason to leave it, I will despise you, you know? That's how easy it is. I do not like you if you pull me out of my peace and my calmness and force me into social interaction. Because social interaction, like I said before, there's no use to it 99% of the time. I do not see why I will need to go out and hang out with you. Just go online, we can play a game, and then we can move on with our lives, you know. And then we have the next one. Unusual reaction in social settings. Now, I don't know what to mean by unusual, but I do panic a lot in social settings. Like I said previously, I have a panic disorder, so I panic easily. But like, if you put me in like a crowded mall, then that's essentially a nightmare. It's essentially hell in a crowded mall, you know. You have so many people, you don't know who's where, you don't know who's doing what, you don't know what's going to happen. Someone might try and rob you without you noticing, you know. Someone might try and attack you for absolutely no reason. Maybe you want to go into the store, but the store is entirely packed already and everybody's taking what you want to take. So then you have to quickly think of something else. It's hell. It's a nightmare. At least for me. I don't know how it is for other people with it. But for me, it's, you know, hell on earth. Then we have using odd words or phrases. Now, I do use odd words primarily because I want to sound fancy sometimes. Like, sometimes I go online and I use the word flummox, F-L-U-M-M-O-X, which is a fancy way of saying confused, you know. But phrases, I don't know what to mean by odd phrases. Like, sometimes I, out of nowhere, use like one of those sayings. Like previously, we had a discussion about bullying on the Discord server I'm in, because there's a huge bullying scandal involved in a community I'm involved in right now. And I used the phrase, the X forgets but the tree remembers, which I don't think a lot of people understand, to be honest. If you don't know what it means, the X forgets but the tree remembers means that, let's say for instance bullying, okay, like we used. The bully will just move on with their lives, you know. They bullied someone, they move on, they forget about it. Why shouldn't they? They didn't experience anything bad. They can just move on with their life. But to the person who was bullied, it will leave a scar. It will follow them for at least years. You know, so the X forgets, because the X will just move on and go on to hit another tree. But the tree will remain there with its scar for the rest of time, maybe even. Maybe it will grow back, but who knows? Probably not. But anyway, I think I'll just end it for now. I've talked for a long enough time. Hopefully you liked my ranting video about this. Maybe I'll make another one. I don't know, to be honest right now. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye bye.